Howdy, boys and girls. Just wanted to stop by briefly to formally announce to you that Wonderhaven is finished and has officially entered into post-production. So I felt that this was a good a time as any to take a few minutes here and update you guys on some things. To touch base on where I'm at mentally, creatively, and to share the vision that I have for the extremely near future, and what that means for you and what it'll bring to this channel as a whole. Which means we need to discuss the elephant that has been in my room since roughly January of this year. It was around that time that I made the executive decision to dissolve the King Jabberwocky Creative Group and step away from Facebook entirely. Of course, the big question that I got after doing that was why? Why would I do something so drastic? I guess the more honest version of that question would be, how could I do that? How could I just how could I live in my day-to-day routine of life and quit Facebook cold turkey? I did it for mental health reasons. Short, sweet, and to the point. I think a brain-dead monkey could see and agree that the landscape of Facebook has changed pretty dramatically over the last few years. It's definitely not the site that I remember signing up to, connect with friends and family all over the world. To be frank, I think Facebook sucks. It's nothing now but a cesspool of toxicity, negativity, depression, anxiety, just all the things that can take a person and put them in a very bad place in life. And when you're exposed and you're in that kind of environment, that constant sort of negativity can really have an impact on you and affect you and rot your brain. So I just stepped away from it. I did away with it. I should tell you that the decision to do so was far more premeditated than I believe I let on. And had it not been for the few hang-ups that I had, I would have been gone far sooner. Because this is something that I've contemplated doing for literal years. I just couldn't quite pull the trigger until I finally did. Because, well, for one reason, I, much like the rest of you, used Facebook as a pretty significant lifeline when it came to communicating and staying involved in, people's lives that I cared about. Obviously, I wouldn't want to do away with that until I had other means in which to do so. that would eventually come in the form of me catching up with the times and getting my very first smartphone with texting capability. So that kind of threw that necessity for Facebook right out the window. The other big reason I had for sticking around as long as I did was, of course, the business side as opposed to personal, the community that I built, or was trying to. From the very beginning, Facebook served as kind of a hub or a mecca for my books, my YouTube videos, any and every sort of creative endeavor that I had that I thought was worth sharing. And that was the case until I finally realized one day, or maybe I should say it finally sunk into my brain and stayed there, that I was failing. Now this is a subject that I've shared my views and my feelings and my thoughts on a few times over the course of multiple videos. But I just got so damn tired of the whole thing. I was tired of feeling beat up by the system. The feeling of having no control over what I was doing. And I guess the eventual realization that maybe I never had any control whatsoever from the start. And there was no clarification or distinction between, okay, is what I'm trying to do suffering because there's some stupid Facebook algorithm designed to smother me and people like me? Or is this a more organic issue? Is there something closer to home, as in, are the people in this group that are supposed to be supporting me and whatever, are they genuinely lacking motivation and curiosity and interest in what I'm doing? In short, do they genuinely not give a damn about anything I'm doing? There was no clear answer to that. I didn't know who or what to blame, much less how to fix it. And I'll say that my brilliant shake-up idea that I came up with definitely didn't help the situation. It wasted no time in falling flat on its face, which didn't really surprise me. It sucked, yeah, but I like to think that I was pretty much prepared for the possibility that it was going to sink. And I don't remember the exact schedule that I set up for the shake-up, but I recall there being like a good month between announcing it, saying, hey, this is what this is how it's going to work, and the point in time where I started releasing the content and seeing what was going to happen. So that was a lot of time for me to ponder things. I won't say that I was overly negative about the whole thing, but I can admit that I was very, very nervous, very, very scared. Scared out of my mind, because to me, this was it. This was my last chance to gather any sort of momentum and growth with what I was doing. This was my last attempt to make my business work as it was without any major changes or motivations. This was my last idea. This was plan B. We had no plan C. We had no exit strategy. And we, as in myself, didn't have any idea what was going to happen. So I, in pondering that reality, I answered myself naturally, as you do, and I said, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the next step is or should be. I don't know what the future's going to hold. I don't know if there's a future. Is this it? Do I say I had a good run and pack it in and just write books and do creative things for myself as a hobby, something to do, for myself? I didn't know. But I did say that, if I wanted to be drastic about it, I would probably just burn the whole thing down, move it all over to YouTube, and start fresh. Which is exactly what I'm planning to do. From this point forward, from this video forward, every new project will be, Wonderhaven included, will be released as content for this channel. I plan on integrating the books as it stands through 2 brand new series. First and foremost, the flagship series, if you will, is the Hazzah Reads series, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's me, just like I am right now, reading the books to you out loud, cover to cover. Now, if you can minimize the video so you don't have to look at my ugly mug and you don't mind the sound of my voice as I read through them, this should have the same functionality and flexibility as any other podcast or audiobook. Essentially what we're going to have here is the books in pretty digestible chunks. I think each episode is going to be about 3 chapters long. Obviously there's, that may vary a little bit, really depending on the size of the size of the chapters as we go and kind of how fast it takes me to read them and get through them. But the overall idea is that we're not going to be doing anything crazy here. We are not going to be reading vast chunks of the book at a time or reading the entire book in one setting, anything crazy like that, because I want this to be easy to digest. Like I said, I want it easy to keep up with. I don't want anybody getting lost. I want it very, very accessible, which I think it is. Primarily because it's free. It's free content. Meaning that my books as a whole, when you break it down, will be 100% free. So there's no financial commitment to turn you off to the idea. It'll be easy to share, easy to spread the word on, because it works like sharing any other video on any other platform. Simple. And the major accessibility thing here, I believe, is that because of the format, the way I'm choosing to deliver my books now, it will coincide with the flow of your everyday routine a little bit easier than, say, you know, sitting somewhere in your house with a physical book in your nose. You know, essentially, you can take it in your car on your way to and from work. You can put it in your headphones as you're grocery shopping or working out at the gym. You can throw it on the TV or your phone as you're cooking dinner or in the shower. You know, I think you get the point. The point is that wherever you go in your day-to-day life, as busy as we all are, these can go too, and these can be, you know, accessible for everybody at any given time. So that'll be that. Now, the second series is something that I'm calling the Tea Time Commentaries. Now, for long-time subscribers to this channel, if tea time sounds familiar to you, it's because way back in the day, I had a short-lived series where I would talk about specific subjects and how they related to me, how they impacted my life, so on and so forth. Just talking to you person to person, if you will. And I say short-lived because I realized that pretty much everything that I do with this channel is talk. So it was just kind of an idea that was very short-lived and kind of just pushed by the wayside because I just didn't want to do it. But I always thought, you know, what a shame it was, because I liked the concept, I liked the name, I liked the theme. So, you know, why waste a good thing? Essentially, what Tea Time Commentaries is, if you look at the How to Read series as the DVD, right? This is the special features. So, you know, each time we get through reading a book, there will be an episode of this where we kind of talk about behind the scenes things, inspirations, character development, world building, plot things, kind of giving you an idea of how things changed from my original concept in my head to the finished product. Just kind of that general behind the scenes information for each book. The only thing that I can't quite figure out is how I want to do that. I'm not sure if I want to just do bullet points sort of thing where I just make a video like this where I, you know, tell you and talk about things that I want to share, things that I think you should know, or might be interested in. I don't know if I want to do it more as a Q&A type thing where I, you know, answer your questions directly about the book that we're covering. Maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. We'll iron it out later. But I think the point is that when I do get it all figured out and we start doing this, we're going to end up with a pretty slick, self-sufficient machine. As far as Amazon is concerned, nothing will change there. The books that are already there are going to stay there. I'm not deleting anything. I'm not changing anything. So if you sit through a reading and you like the book and want a physical copy for yourself or whatever, you know, the option's there. If you want a copy to read along as we go together as a group, you know, that's fine too. Nothing with that will change. I think the overall idea is to still, have and still make physical copies. The only thing is, I can't necessarily do that right now with my current illustrating situation. So obviously that's kind of lame, the whole thing right now. But I will say that I think the bright side of not having the tools in the inventory right now is that the turnaround time will be significantly improved. Essentially, we no longer have to go, okay, I just spent a year and a half writing this thing, and here's a handful more months to wait while we hash out the art and the covers and all that stuff. Essentially, as soon as I get it written and edited and ready to go, it can be released and shared with you guys, the public, which I think is really, really cool. I think the biggest aspect to this that I'm super excited about is that there isn't going to be any more postponed or unreleased projects. Everything that I write, everything that I work on is going to be released and shared with you. So there's no more excuses. There's no more, worrying about time frames and other people. It's just kind of self-sufficient and constantly moving forward, which is exactly what I wanted. So, like I said, there will be no more long pausing, postponing, or unreleased projects. Nothing's skipped, nothing's forgotten. Everything will be released to you, everything will be shareable, and everything will be made to be enjoyed, which I think is super, super exciting, given recent, past stuff that I haven't necessarily been happy about. Now then, as far as a schedule goes, obviously the next step would be to edit Wonderhaven, which should take probably no more than a week and a half. I'm going to take it slow. There's no real reason to rush. But after that, I really plan on just making some good old-fashioned content. I'm feeling really good right now and just want to get back into the swing of things with reviews and rankings, maybe a rant or two, and just kill some time in general while my wife works on the custom thumbnail for the Reads series. But when she's done with it, we can get started. My plan is to start at the beginning with the original Allen novel, because I know there's plenty of you that still haven't experienced the series, and we'll just take it slow and work our way up to the brand new release and go from there. So yeah, guys, just I guess stay close to the channel. Keep an eye out for plenty of new and exciting content. I'm excited. You guys should be excited. The future looks bright. And let's make this work. I'll see you soon.